Hello guys, welcome to another trade breakdown video. Today I'll be breaking down the trade on Tuesday that I took on Tuesday on 18th of June 2024. So from a couple of days, for a couple of weeks now, every Tuesday I'm getting a trade and either it's a winner and a loser. So let's see what this Tuesday does. And my bias is clear, to be honest. My targets are clear. You can see on the on GU, we can clearly see it is respecting this demand zone that I've marked right here. There is a fair value gap here to fill to the upside, and Monday closed as a bullish candle right here. So what we will anticipate is Tuesday to go and fill up this fair value gap. So that was what I was thinking, and quickly confirming the bias on DXY. On DXY, the contrary will be true, right? So on DXY, there was no sort of supply zone right around here. Why? Yes, this is supply zone, but I have not marked this because the price is trading between this low and this high right here. So whenever something like that happens, until and unless a long period of time, we consider that high and low as the high and low of the markets. So we didn't consider any supply zones around here, but on DXY there was no fair value gap as of to fill. But according to how the Monday candle closed, I was looking for sells on DXY and buys on GU. So that was my higher time frame bias. And on the weekly bias on GU was bearish, so it was not aligning with the weekly bias being bearish. But after a lot of backtesting, I came to a conclusion that I will trade the daily bias also, because if you only trade with the weekly bias, you will get less trades. That is okay, that is fine. But you know what? Daily bias works very nicely. I have seen it a gazillion of times, even in the live markets, even on the backtesting. The result is very good. So why not capitalize on something where the result is good, right? So I was looking for buys. So if I'm looking for buys, I will go to the lower time frames on the H4. On the H4, there was no change of characters to the upside. As you can see, the market was trending down, lower highs, lower lows, and the most ideal case scenario would be something like this, right? If this low right here, body closed below this wick, and then a change of character happened, then that would be a H4 change of character. Even though this was not a change of character, huge buying pressure came here on New York, so we have to keep that in mind, right? So that was my H4. On the H1 now, on the H1 there was no, like, even the H1 was not that clean, because you can see this was the last high that caused this lower low. Some accumulation happened here, market went down but didn't body close below here. If the price body closed below here, then this would be a beautiful demand. Clearly anyone in the, even if someone doesn't know how to trade, can say this, bro. The market literally got bought a lot here. In lots of abundance, the market was bought here, as you can see. Because the buyers bought the market here, literally it skyrocketed to the upside. That shows that huge buying pressure happened here. And when did that happen? You have to also keep that in mind. When did that happen? It happened on New York session. So whenever there is a zone on New York session, it is high probability that the price may go there on the New York session, and the London session might be the manipulation. That is the trick that the big banks plays, and I have noticed it. I figured it out. Let me show you what I figured out on this trade right here. So obviously, as always, I waited for the Asian range to close, because until and unless the Asian range closes, we can't do nothing. So here we can clearly see on DXY, the previous day low was taken. On GU, the previous day high was taken. So that is one red flag. But even though that doesn't change anything, on DXY, I was looking for a trade from this sort of supply zone, which was made on New York session also, and something like this. So obviously on DXY, there was a clear zone. That means on Euro USD also there will be a clear zone, because they intercorrelate very nicely. And this day, to be honest, in the live markets, if I was trading, I would trade EU rather than GU, because DXY was cleaner. That means EU would have been cleaner. And whenever EU is cleaner than GU, I trade EU. So on DXY, on GBP USD, after seeing all of that, after seeing this rejection, I decided to trade from this M30 demand zone, which was a very bad decision, because look, it is a red, the price could have been, the price could have been went up from here, right? It could be possible, 100% was possible. But also, just few days ago, I told you one thing. that whenever the demand zone is very close to the Asian range, just the Asian range sweep is not enough for the market to go up, right? So that was one case. And also we can see the move happened at 12:15, which was 7:30 a.m. UK time, 7:45 a.m. UK time to be exact. So this would be, if I took this trade, this would be a limit order right here, and limit orders have goods and bads. If I place a limit order here, then I would have got a better entry, very good stop loss. But if it didn't play it in my favor, it would directly stop me out like it did in this trade. So why you should not have traded this demand zone is because, first of all, this demand zone was not in our timing, which is 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time, which is very late on New York session. A better zone would have been somewhere around here, which was made exactly on New York session. But sometimes the move also happen from weak zones like this, right? So you have to decide if you want to trade weak zones also, or you only want to trade the strong zones. But to be honest, to be fair, now as I am reflecting to this trade, which is very important, giving myself feedback, we can clearly see this trade was not valid at all, because also the DXY, if I correlate it with the DXY was not yet, or did not yet reach the H1 supply that I wanted to trade. And yeah, I was also self-contradicting myself. It was a paradox decision right here. We were used as liquidity, as you can see. Also, the price has not swept enough liquidity to make a move. We know that the price needs liquidity to make a move, right? So here, just the Asian low sweep is not enough, bro. So you have to keep that in mind. So what did the price do? Price went down, swept our liquidity, again gave an inducement. Here you could have entered again, but for me, there was no reason to trade here because there was no zone here, right? There was no sort of demand zone, and after getting stopped out once, I will not trade here. Why? Because there was no zone, and my trade checklist, this was a very low probability trade because of this. But due to I am backtesting, I am trying every sort of situation in the market so that I will learn. The more trades I take on backtesting, obviously the more I will learn, right? Eventually, what happened was the move did happen. This is the New York demand zone that I marked at the end, right? From where huge buying pressure came to the market on the previous day. So the move did happen. The anticipated move did happen, as you can see. Beautiful buys, would have won if I took the trade here, would have won the trade. But why did I not place a trade on New York session? The only reason was there was news. On 6 p.m. there was core retail sales USD news, and whenever there is news in the market and we are getting a trade in that sort of time, we don't trade news. Or even if I trade news, I like to break even the trade or at least take some profits, right? So every zone has a probability of giving a move, right? So you have to decide if that zone is strong or not. This zone, literally 100%, it could have, this trade could have been a winner, 100%. But you have to decide that if you want to trade only the strong zones, or you also want to trade the weak zones. If you trade the weak zones also, you will get many trades, but your win rate will be ass. But if you only trade the high quality zones, like this zone right here, from where huge buying happened, let me show you. Look at this, bro. Look at the buying pressure from this area right here, New York session, right? You can clearly see the difference between this zone and this zone, right? And also there was change of character, but the only problem was the hourly didn't body close here. So first of all, I would not trade this on the live markets. And second of all, even if I traded, this was not the entry right here. It was a losing trade, so I took it like how a losing trade should be taken. I have learned from it, so it is not a losing trade because I have learned from it. And also you can see London session trended to the downside, right? Clearly we can see London session trended to the downside. A fake move happened before New York session. And then induced the early buyers right here. And then the huge move happened. Just like Umar Punjabi said, before the New York session, most of the time, a fake move happens like this, induce them, and then the main move happens in the session. So this was exactly what Umar Punjabi said. I have known this is the fundamentals, how the market moves, how the strategy works. London session went to the downside, gave a fake move. Again, pre-New York, there was a fake move again, went down, induced all of the early buyers, and then the main move happened on New York with the news. So this trade I would have been lost, and this was a low probability trade. And also the entry was only a limit order because I would have missed the first entry. And I've backtested this trade. If I want to come back and see what I've done mistake, I can easily come anytime I want, so it is a win.